welcome, welcome at home too. Okay. So last week we came up to standing. So I wanted to check in with you guys and see how that went. If you had questions about it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. We haven't done standing for a while because we've had a rather big group in here, and I want to get a little feedback before we start. Okay, was okay. Okay, what's that? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna keep mixing it up. And we're going to keep working on standing. So, you know, I talk about this a lot. I feel like I talk about it constantly. The quadriceps muscles. So the quadriceps muscles, those are the muscles here in the tops of your thighs. Those are the most important muscles for keeping you mobile, keeping you active and able to get around on your own. And they also tend to atrophy if you don't use them. And the best way to strengthen your quadriceps muscles is to squat and use them like that. So we're going to be doing a bit of squatting today. So the reason that I'm telling you this is because if you have a knee issue, we're going to have to make some modifications for that. Okay, so maybe instead of coming down into a low squat, maybe this is your squat. Maybe this is as high as you or as low as you go with your squat. Maybe you just simply shift your weight into your feet, into your legs, and you don't actually get off the chair. So I can tell you from my experience of having had a knee injury, not being able to squat, get up and down, that was really key for me in my rehab, was just to move forward and slowly start to wake these muscles back up again. So if you've got any issue like that, I'm just going to invite you to kind of pay attention to that and make whatever modifications you need. Okay? All right. So come up to the front of your chair. Have your feet, both of them, on the floor. I'm going to put my sneakers on because we're on a floor here that might be a little slippery, and you guys can keep yours on too if you'd like. So make sure you've got like a nice 90-degree bend at your knees. In other words, you don't want your feet way back here or way up here. You want to have a nice 90-degree bend here. Rest your hands on your thighs. Sit up nice and tall. So thinking about your shoulders being right above your hips, and your head sort of balanced right on top of your neck, right on top of the shoulders there. Close your eyes if that feels okay. And just begin to notice your breathing. So notice a couple things right away. Are you breathing in and out through your nose? And is the breath smooth and steady? Is it equal between the left nostril and the right nostril? So there's all these kinds of qualifications just to start. So in yoga, we want to cultivate breathing in and out through the nose. Actually, in life, we want to breathe in and out through the nose. That's what the nose is for. So see if you can deepen your breathing a little bit, going in and out through the nose. If you're having some challenges with breathing this morning, you can breathe in through your nose and out through pursed lips like you're blowing out a candle. But let the breath sink deeply into your body. So let it come all the way down through the back of your throat, into your lungs. Let your belly expand and contract with each breath. Notice if you're creating some tension in your hands or your arms, your neck or your shoulders, maybe your jaw. See if you can relax that tension. And let the breath do its work of expanding and contracting your body. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. And as we continue this breathing, let's begin to add a count. So as you breathe in, do a slow count of 4 in your head. And the same as you breathe out, a nice slow count of 4 in your head. We're inhaling to 4 and exhaling to 4. We want to make the breath smooth and even. And the reason for counting, there's a couple of reasons actually for counting. One is that it does regulate the breathing so that you're breathing in the same amount as you're breathing out, which is wonderful for the nervous system. It's more advantageous for oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange in your blood. And the other reason is because it gives the mind something to do. Quite often when we do our breathing practice in yoga, the mind starts to wander, start to think about other things. And by counting as you're breathing, it engages the mind. So breathing in to 4 and out to 4, letting the shoulders, neck, arms, hands, feet, hips, back, everything relax. Allowing the breath to do the work of moving the body as you inhale and expand and exhale and contract. And after your next exhalation to a count of 4, you can release the counting, relax your breath, go back to what's a natural breath for you. So don't worry about how deep it is, how slow it is. You can let your eyes gently open. So we'll be revisiting the breath throughout our practice this morning as we begin to move the body. So take your arms out to the sides, turn your palms up. Reach out through your fingertips as if you're holding a tray on either hand. And then we're going to go up as high as you can, keeping that tray lifted toward the ceiling, right? So you have to bend your wrists a little bit and then all the way back down, right? So look at your palms and make sure when you come up that your hands are staying parallel to the ceiling, right? Breathing in and breathing out. And just a little tip here, look at each of your hands, because I find that what my right hand is doing, my left hand is definitely doing something different. Inhaling and exhaling. Great. Just 2 more of these. We're just kind of coordinating that movement here. Spine is tall, breath is smooth. Excellent. Let's go all the way down. Turn your palms down. Great. Let's go forward as you inhale, drawing breath in. And as you exhale, turn your hands away and down. Breathing in, let's come forward and up. Breathing out, let's go out and around. So really reach and lengthen through your arms. As you breathe in, get taller in your seat. Engage your glutes. Those are your bum muscles. So you want to engage the glutes like you're going to stand up. Press into your feet a little bit. Great. 2 more. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out as we come up to the sides and down. And last one, breathing in as we come all the way up. Breathing out as we come out to the sides and all the way down. Great. We're going to reverse now. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in and out. And again, in and out through the nose if that's possible. Great. 2 more of these. So in and forward. And in and forward. Excellent. So let's relax that. We'll roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down a couple of times. Let's roll that right shoulder. Good. Let's get the elbow in there and then the arm. Breathing in and out. And it doesn't matter when you inhale, when you exhale, as long as your breath is smooth and slow and steady. And the next time that your arm is down toward the ground, we're going to reverse direction, going the other way. Again, breathing in and out through the nose, so up and around. Next time you're up, let's hold here. I'm going to lean to the left. Draw that arm way up, turn your palm up toward the ceiling. So reach, 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 press out through the heel of your hands. Can you lean a little bit more? Try and keep your, excuse me, your right sitting bone on the chair. Don't let your right sitting bone come up off the chair. You can lean into this arm, have it on your leg, or have it on the chair. 2 more breaths here. A good stretch for the side of the body. See if you can breathe right into that side of the body. And then come all the way up and down. Great. Take a moment, letting the arms, hands rest on the leg. What do you feel on your right side versus what do you feel on your left side? So notice any difference here. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to switch sides. So left arm, circle up and around, elbows. Great. Getting the arm involved, coming all the way up and all the way down. And again, work with what you've got. So if you've got some limitation in your shoulder, in your elbow, in your neck, go with that. At some point, when your arm is down toward the ground, we're going to switch direction, going up and around the other way. Good. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Great, and the next time your arm is up, let's hold here, reach and lengthen, and then turn your palm up toward the ceiling, press out through the heel of your hand, and let's lean into that right side. So once again, you can either have a hand on your lap, you can have it on your chair, whatever's going to give you a little bit of support. You want to make sure that left sitting bone stays anchored to the chair. Don't let it come up. Reach up as best you can here. You might be looking up if that feels okay with your neck. You might be looking forward, and you might even look down. If you've got a little kink in your neck or it just doesn't feel right, excuse me, looking down toward the floor can actually help. So breathe in, breathe out. One more time, reach up through the heel of that hand, and then slowly come all the way back up. Let both hands rest on your lap. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath in, let it out with a sigh. And notice your arms and shoulders, your neck, your back, your chest. And then let's take the hands together as we open the eyes. Inhale as we bring the arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, bring the arms forward and down. Inhale, so palms are pressing away from you. And exhale. A couple more of these. Inhale. Get tall, 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 and exhale. And last time, inhale all the way up. And exhale forward. Great. Release your hands. Let's shake things out a little bit. Okay, we're going to move right into legs now because we are going to be getting up to standing. So take your right leg extended out, heel on the floor. Inside your shoes, if you've got them on, just squeeze and release your toes. So your toes are kind of doing this business. I'm doing it with my hands. You can put it on. And then we'll start to point and flex the foot. Ooh, nice little crack there in the ankle. You might feel a little cracking in the ankle, the knee, the hip. You could get a little sound in there. And generally, any kind of sound in a joint like that, as long as there's no pain, it's generally okay. And then we'll circle around at the ankle. Are y'all breathing in and out through the nose? Is that possible? Okay, reverse direction. All right, let's have that heel on the floor and then hold on to your chair. So you want to be right up close to the front edge of the chair. We're going to be bending and extending that knee. All right, so bend and extend. Slow and steady. Now, the more you can lift your leg, the more intense the workout for those thigh muscles, right? So you can see the leg is way up here versus way down here, right? So find a level that is kind of right on your edge, that's kind of pushing it a little bit. And the next time that you extend, you can hold here and breathe. Press out through your heel, bring your toe toward your shin. Sit up nice and tall so you can use your hands to help facilitate that. Somebody's busy out there today. 2 more breaths if you can. And then let's slowly lower that leg down. Keep the knee engaged, so don't relax the leg at all. The heel is on the floor, and now we're going to rotate the leg in and out. So if you look at your foot, it's like it's going like from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Okay, next time you get over to the 2 o'clock position or 1 o'clock, so toward the little toe side of your foot, you're going to hold the leg in that position, making sure you've got a nice tall spine, pulling the belly in a little bit. You're going to lift that leg and lower. So keep the foot angled at that 1 or 2 o'clock position, right? So it's different than if it comes back up to 12. We're working a little part of the quadriceps muscle right in here on the inside of that leg. Yep, you got it. That's the one that tends to be a little bit, it's not as developed. It can get a little bit lazy. I'll say that. It can get a little lazy. So the next time you lift, let's hold here. See if we can count to 3, just 3. 1, breath in and out is counting to 1. So let's say we've done 1 already. And 2. And 3. Excellent. Lower that all the way down. Bend that leg. Let's give it a little massage. You can squeeze, or you can tap, or anything like that. You can do a little chop here with the side of your hand. Okay. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take that leg and we're going to lift it up and circle it around. Right? So sit up really tall here. So we're using those belly muscles a bit. And then reverse direction. Good. Okay, and then let's bring that foot back down to the floor. We're going to take the other leg, extend it out, heel on the floor. With your toes, you're squeezing and releasing just like that inside your shoe if you've got a shoe on. So we're squeezing and releasing the toes. Nothing beats doing this barefoot, by the way. You get much more, but that's something you can do at any point. And then we'll start to point and flex the whole foot. So now we're working the ankle. Again, you might hear some cracking in there, some crunching noise in there, and that's perfectly normal, as long as there's no pain. And then we'll circle around at the ankle, breathing in, breathing out. And reverse direction. Excellent. And then heel on the floor. And then once again, just checking in, making sure you've got your shoulders over your hips and your head kind of perched right on top of your neck. We're going to bend and extend that knee. So nice and slow and steady. You can have the leg lower. You can have the leg a little higher. So once again, find a lift, a level of lift that challenges you a bit, right? Not that it's so challenging that you have to lean back in your chair, but not so easy that you're not really feeling it. And the next time that you extend your leg, let's hold it here, press out through your heel, reach your toes toward your shin. So you really want to pull the toes like you kind of touch your knee with the tips of your toes. Sitting up nice and tall, let's do 2 more breaths here because we've been holding this for a bit. There's 1. And 2. Great, and we'll lower that all the way down. Still maintaining a nice upright position. We're just going to rotate in and out. And out. Good. So make sure your movement is happening way up here, not just your ankle. So sometimes we can do this movement from just the ankle, but we're not getting the full benefit of it. And the next time that your leg is out to the little toe side, so for you guys, that's going to be about 10 o'clock position. Once again, really making sure your spine is nice and tall. We're going to lift and lower that leg. Keep it at 10 o'clock. So the movement is engaging the muscle right in here, or muscles. Got a couple. We're working on one primarily, but you know, you can't work muscles in isolation. You're actually working a bunch of them when you do this. So keep that knee straight. That's it. We're lifting and lowering. And the next time you lift, hold here. Press up through your heel, reach your toes toward your shin. Breathe. 2 breaths if you can. Relax your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw. And slowly lower all the way down. Great. Let's bend that knee. Give a little bit of a massage here to the leg. Okay. And then we're going to do a little hip work. So once again, making sure you're up nice and tall, we're going to circle that leg out and around. So this is movement at the hip. So your knee stays bent for this one as opposed to straight. Then reverse the direction. Excellent, and then we'll bring that foot back down to the floor. Let's do this. Let's lengthen the legs out in front, point your toes. And then holding onto your chair, you're gonna lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, and then come all the way back up. Okay, so when you lean back, keep your shoulders down, pull your belly in, breathe in and breathe out. Keep the legs nice and straight. Okay, so try not to bend your knees. Next time you lean back, you're gonna hold here, keep your left heel on the floor, lift your right leg straight, and then lower back down and come all the way up. Okay, so important not to be rounded in your back and not to have your knees bent too much. If you need to have a little bend in your knees, that's okay. But see if you can keep the legs as straight as possible. So once again, get nice and tall in your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Holding onto the chair is helpful. Going to lean back. Okay, so keep the spine lifted. Keep your right foot on the floor. Lift your left leg. No bend in the knee. And then come up. Now got that? We're just going to keep doing this a little bit. So this is good for the belly. Right? Y'all feeling it in your belly? Nobody wants to answer. You're all holding your breath. That's why, right? Try to keep those shoulders down as you come up. Great. How about one more time on each side? Great. And last one. Excellent. Okay, bend your knees. All right, bring your feet a little wider than your hips, and we're going to go in and out. In and out. All right, so you can pivot on your heels, pivot on your toes if you like. Just getting that movement way up here in the hips, you guys. Okay. All right, and then let's bring both knees over to the right and then to the left. Right and left. Next time you're over to the right, stay there and turn your body to the left as far as it'll go. So we're twisting out to the left as we have the knees over to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming all the way back. We're going to take the knees over to the left. Turn and look out over the right shoulder. So knees are over to the left. We're turning and looking out over that right shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. And then coming back to center. Let's bring the feet a little closer together. Sit back just a teeny bit in your chair. So I want to make sure you don't kind of, if you can find the chair is kind of beveled, so if you can find the top of the hill on your chair, you know what I'm saying? So this is the back of the hill back here and then the front of the hill. You lift your right leg, pause for a moment, extend that knee, and then down. Try not to lean back in your chair. So you might hold on just to give yourself a little bit of a point. I can't think of my word, it just escaped me. A reference point, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so just one more time on each side. Great. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to take the arms, bring the arms up overhead. Okay, so as you lift your right knee, we're going to pull the left arm down. And as you lift your left knee, we're going to pull the right arm down. So we're just going from side to side, straight up and straight down. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Okay, couple more. And then we're going to add the little kick, right? So the next time you lift your right leg, you're going to extend. And with the left, right and left, right and left. Two more times on each side. So last time. Excellent. Okay, let your hands rest on your thighs. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice your breath. So notice is your breath a little bit stronger? It's probably a little more shallow because you're trying to get a little more air in. See if you can slow your breathing down. So this is one of the things we do in yoga is we work on something that's a little challenging, then we pause and we watch as the breath starts to bring itself back to normal. So notice how long it takes for your breath to come back to normal. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then allow your eyes to open. Great. Okay. So we're going to come up to standing to do a little bit of work with balance and strength and stretch this morning. So if you want to bring your feet a little wider than your hips. Before we come up, I taught you 2 ways to come up last week. So one of them was by rocking forward and bringing the hands to the thighs. You kind of slap the thighs and then you use momentum to come up. And the other is to think about coming forward off the chair, not up from the chair. I think that's where we get, we don't use what's available to us in terms of biomechanics when we try and come straight up. So you all comfortable with the rocking method? Is that something I need to go over again? Are you all good with that? Okay, so I'm going to just demonstrate. We're going to work with just coming forward off the chair, okay? Because this is another way to build some good strength here in these muscles. So with your feet a little wider than your hips, bring your heels in a little bit so that if you look on the side of your leg, instead of having a nice 90-degree bend like that, you can have maybe like 75 degrees. It's just going to be a little bit less. That shifts the balance when you come forward a bit, right? So if your feet are angled out slightly, that's another way that we kind of shift the balance. So we're going to come forward, and as we come forward, reach forward like you're trying to come get me. Keep coming and lift your backside off the chair, and then slowly stand up. Okay, let's come back to a seated position. So you might want to step a little closer to your chair so you know where it is. I'm going to bend the knees, really slowly come down. Right, so the slower you come down, the more control you need to use here on these muscles, and the harder it is. But that's going to build some strength. So let's try that again. We get the feet a little wider than the hips. The toes are angled out slightly. Right? I know everybody wants to just get up, right? So we're just going to lean forward slightly. Bring your arms forward. Now, as you come forward, not up, as you come forward, your backside will come up off the chair, and then come all the way up. Excellent. We're going to sit down. We're going to do that one more time. So as you sit, slow, slow, slow. A little bit of a squat. We're going to hold here. So come down as low as you can and hold. And breathe. Okay. And then slowly sit down. Excellent. Okay. Last time we're going to stand for a little bit. So as your feet are a little wider than your hips, we're going to shift the weight into the feet as you come forward. You can reach your arms out in front. So remember, we're coming forward, not up. And then we're coming up. Excellent. All right. So let's walk around. We'll do a little walk around to the back of the chair. And I'm going to turn this just a little bit sideways. I want to make sure my folks at home can see what's happening too. Okay. All right. So from here, we're going to start with a little bit of strengthening. I'm actually going to move my chair out of the way so you can see. So look down at your feet. And they should look almost like you're skiing down the mountain, right? So in other words, not like that. Because if you were like that, you'd have one foot going that way and one foot going that way on the skis. So you want to have them fairly straight. Now from here, we're going to shift the weight into the balls of the feet, right? That's up here where the toes kind of sprout out. And notice, how many of you have more weight on the big toe side of your foot? How many have more weight on the little toe side of your foot? Okay, let's see if we can balance that out so it's nice and even there. And then shift your weight from the balls of your feet into your heels a little bit. Right, so as you come into the heels, now imagine the inside of the heel and the outside of the heel. If I just use my mic. Can you guys hear me? The mic is gone. How is that? Is that better? Okay, good. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're shifting the weight more into the heels. And then now on all four of those corners, right? So the big toe ball mound, the little toe ball mound, the outside of the heel and the inside of the heel, press down. As you press down, feel these leg muscles get really strong. Pull up on the muscles of the pelvic floor. So it's kind of like you're trying to pull your belly button up under your ribs. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, as you're pressing down firmly, I want you to keep that awareness of pressing into all four corners of your foot. Shift your weight into your right leg. You can have one hand on your hip. As you shift your weight into your right leg, you're going to bend your left knee and come up on the toes of your left foot. Turn that knee out to the side. So here we are. We've got one foot firmly on the floor, all 4 points. The other foot, the heel, is resting on the ankle or a little bit above the ankle. Okay. I wonder if it's this. Is that better now? Okay. All right. We're just going to work with our AV issues. We're learning as we go, right? Okay. So as you're breathing in and breathing out, let's see if we can take that foot up off the floor and press it to the inside rather of your lower leg, not on your knee. If your heel is up by your knee, lower that foot down a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out. So the knee is going out to the side, not forward. It's going out to the side. Take your hand that's not on the chair and raise it up overhead. Great. Focus your gaze on something that's not moving. If you're feeling really balanced this morning and you'd like to take the other hand off the chair, you can do that. Or you can keep that hand right where it is. Breathing in, breathing out. Right. It's a little tough. Okay, and then we're going to lower that arm down. Let's come off of that standing leg. Let's shake out that standing leg a little bit. And then with the weight even, take a moment and just notice what you feel in the right side. Notice what you feel on the left side. Right? So maybe that right side feels a little more compressed, or maybe it feels a little more stressed. Maybe the left side feels a little bit wider. So we'll bring the feet back to that starting position once again, pressing down into the heels and balls of your feet equally and evenly. So the feet are, if you look at them, your skis are going down the mountain, right? So arms are relaxed, feet are active, leg muscles are active. Pull the navel up under the ribs. Shift your weight into your left leg. As you shift the weight into your left leg, you're going to come up on the toes of the right foot and then turn that heel into the left ankle. Breathing in and breathing out, right? Fix your gaze on something that's not moving, right? So if you look at a piece of the floor somewhere or a chair, and then let's see if we can bring that foot up off the floor, keeping the heel away from the knee. So you want it below the knee. Too much pressure on the knee, that's bad for those ligaments on the outside of your knee. And then let's see if we can take the other arm and reach it up. Are y'all breathing easily? Have you forgotten to breathe? Holding your breath? No? Good. Okay, 2 more breaths here if you can. So this is really challenging. And last breath. Slowly lower that arm. Let's bring that foot back down to the floor. Let's shake out this leg a little bit here. Good. How are we all doing? Okay? Okay. So standing where you are behind your chair. So I'm going to turn my chair this way just a little bit. I want to make sure if you can't see. From here, we're going to have the feet about. If you look down between your big toes, you should have about 6 or 8 inches there, right? So you don't want to be way out here, but you also don't want to be like right up close. So right here, we're standing up close to the chair. So if you're not behind your chair, I'm going to invite you to walk behind it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down like we're going to sit. So a little bit of a squat. You're holding onto your chair, and then slowly come up. Now, if this is giving you problems with your knees, angle your feet out slightly, or bring your feet a little wider apart. So we're bending the knees, lifting the backside out behind, and then coming back up. I'm going to do this a few more times. Ready? So it's like you're sitting down on something back there, but remember there's nothing back there. Great. Come down and breathe. Now we're going to hold here for a moment. Breathe and slowly come up. Slowly straighten the legs. Great. One more time, I'm going to do the same thing. So come down, breathe. Very slowly straighten the legs. Excellent. Okay, so still behind the chair, shift your weight into your left leg and take your right foot, step it way out behind, come up on the toes of the foot. You're going to come up on the toes. And then slowly, we're going to bend the front knee as we sink that back heel to the floor. And then we're going to come back up on the toes. So a couple things here. Look at that back foot. Make sure it's not like this, out to the side. You want to have the foot facing forward. So we're bending the front knee as we drop that heel down. And then coming up as we straighten the front knee. Now, if this is really easy and you're not feeling a stretch in that back leg, you need to take a wider stance. If it's so much that you can't get your heel on the floor, you need to take a narrower stance. One more time, we're going to come down and we're going to hold here. Now that back heel should be on the floor, and we're going to pull the chair back just a little bit. Breathing in and breathing out. Everybody with me? Okay, so can you feel a stretch in that back leg? Everybody getting a stretch back there? Okay. So we're going to hold here, keep your heel on the floor, and then bend that knee a little bit, the back knee. And then straighten. So very slowly, give the back knee just a little bend, and then straighten. So as we're doing this now, what I'd like you to notice is how the stretch shifts. So it generally, when you bend the knee, that stretch is going to come down a little bit closer to your heel. Right, so your Achilles tendon is sweating hot up here. Oops, and I'm all caught up in my microphone. Okay, so this is going to be fun. So we're just going to bend that knee and straighten the knee. So the front knee stays just the way it is. How are we doing? Everybody getting a little stretch here? Next time you bend, let's hold here and breathe. Good. Okay, now come up on the toes of that back foot. See if you can slide that back foot out a little bit more. So we're really challenging here. And then bring that heel back down to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're really leaning forward, you need to pull your chair back a little bit. You feel that stretch change? Okay, so we're going to bend the back knee a little bit and straighten. And we're going to just keep doing that, bending and straightening, breathing in and breathing out. It's a very small bend. Can you all see what a small bend I'm putting in my knee back here? It's a very small bend. Okay, 2 more breaths. If this is your first breath, then you and then we're going to come up on the toes of that back foot. Lift up and lower the heel back down. Lift up and lower the heel back down. Ooh, one more time, you guys. Lift up, lower the heel back down. Wonderful. Okay, now lean forward over your chair. You're going to step your back foot forward a little bit and your forward foot back. And then I'm going to ask you to just stand for a moment and notice. Notice if you feel like you're balanced or if one leg feels longer than the other. Oops. Okay, let's shake out that right leg. So does your right leg feel longer than your left leg? It's a great way to work on the muscles in that lower leg, that back of the lower leg that gets short. And I know I've talked about this before, that all of our shoes, even the athletic shoes, have a little bit of a lift in the heel. So what that does is it conditions our calf muscles to get shorter. So we actually don't have the length there. Now think about that. If the leg muscles in the back are shorter than they should be, that puts some stress on the knee. So it's little wonder that most of us have knee problems, right? Because we're wearing shoes all the time that put us in a different position. Okay, so still standing behind your chair. And just turn this way. If you guys can't see or you need something else, let me know. Okay, so we're going to step that left foot back. So toes are straight. We're going to bend the right knee as we bring that left heel to the floor. We're going to lift and lower as we straighten the front knee and then bend the right front knee. So we're just lifting and lowering. We want to get to a place where that back heel is on the floor and we're feeling a stretch there. Okay, now we're going to hold. So as you hold here, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, let's give that back knee a little bit of a bend and then straighten. So again, it's a very small bend. If you're leaning forward, you can pull your chair back a little bit. All right, so the muscles in this front leg are really strong around that front knee. So the knee is bent. If your front knee is straight, you want to bend that front knee. And the next time that you bend your back knee, you're going to hold it here. Breathing in, breathing out. So again, we're shifting the stretch a little closer to the heel when we have that back knee bent, getting down into that Achilles tendon area. Everybody knows where the Achilles tendon is. So we're actually stretching a muscle that's deeper in the leg than the muscles those two muscles on the outside of the lower leg. We're getting it into a muscle that's a little bit deeper. And that deeper muscle is actually, I find that is often involved if you have plantar fasciitis. It's that deeper muscle that is really what's causing a lot of the problem there. Okay, so let's straighten the back knee. We're going to come up on the toes of the front foot and then see if you can slide that back foot out a little bit more and drop the heel to the floor. Come up, straighten the front knee, come down as you bend the front knee. Come up and down. And last time, we're going to bring that heel down to the floor. So if your heel's not on the floor, kick the foot forward. If you need more of a stretch, kick the foot back a little bit. We're going to give that back knee a little bit of a bend and then straighten so you can see the front knee stays stable. Right? So the muscles are working there to keep the knee nice and stable. Breathing in and breathing out. Next time you have a little bend in that back leg, let's hold there. Keep pressing your heel down to the floor. So even as your knee is bent, the heel is going to want to come up off the floor, but keep pushing it down toward the floor. Okay. And then we're going to come up on the toes of that back foot. Lean your body forward a little bit. Let's step the back foot forward and the forward foot back. So we're standing equally and evenly on both feet. Take a moment here and notice right side and left side. Do you feel balanced or do you feel off? Okay. How do your legs feel right now? Shake everything out a little bit. They're burning. Okay, so we got a little burning. We feel a little stretch. What else do we feel in here? Stretch. Anybody's legs feel really tired? Not yet? Okay, so we can stand just a little bit longer if that's okay with you. Okay, so from here, I'm going to stand and face you this way, but you guys are standing right behind your chair. What we're going to do is we're going to take the right leg. Of course, I got my chair on the wrong side. So we're going to stand on the left leg, hand on the chair, and we'll take the right leg out to the side and down, and then back behind you. Okay, so out and down and back behind you. Now, as you're doing this, a couple of things to notice. You don't want to lean. Okay, and you don't want to come forward. You want to keep your spine nice and tall. So you're pressing down into your feet. If you have both hands on the chair like this, makes it a little bit easier to keep your body from moving, right? So we're going to take that right leg out to the side and down and back and down. So you can rest if you want here. Breathe in, breathe out. So I see a lot of people leaning into the left side. See if you can bring your weight even. Press into your hands. Let's lift that leg out and down and back and down. and out, and breathe. Okay, we got that? Keep your foot forward, right? So don't angle your foot. In other words, you don't want to angle your foot like that. You want to have your foot forward, slow and steady. Can you do 2 more? You can always tap down in between if you need to. Last one. And down. Good. Okay, so standing leg. Let's shake that up. How are we doing? That really works the glutes. Can you feel that in your leg? Can you feel the glutes? Can you feel the outside of the left leg as well? Okay, so I talk about the quadriceps a lot in the front of the body, and I don't talk a lot about the glutes back here, but those are super important for walking, right? So your gluteal muscles, the big muscles right in your backside, that's what propels you forward, right? That's what gets you moving forward. So let's try that on the other side. So I'm going to turn my chair this way. Again, I think having the hands on the chair actually prevents us from leaning to one side or the other. So we're going to start with that left leg up and down. So try not to lean to the side, up and down and back and down. Breathe, slow and steady. Slow. So if I throw my leg out to the side using momentum, I can get really high. But when I have to use my glute medius muscles on the side, I have to go very slow. Same thing with the glute max. You're breathing. You can always take a rest in between. You want to bring that foot to the floor. So watch that you don't turn your foot out to the side. Right? How about 2 more in each direction? How's that standing leg treating you right now? It's talking to you, right? Yeah. Last one out. And last one back. Excellent. Okay, let's check out that standing leg. So where are you feeling this, you guys? Yep, in the back, the sides. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so once again, we're going to stand behind the chair. I'm going to turn my chair this way for the folks at home. So standing with the hands right on the back of the chair. So come right around to the back of your chair. And then with your hands here, we're going to walk back. Keep your spine tall. And as you keep walking back, Mary, you might need to push your chair forward a little bit because you're going to run into the wall. And then what we're going to do is lift the hips, keep the back nice and straight. Keep walking back as far as you can. So getting a good stretch here, right? Bring your arms forward, nice and long and lengthened. Relax your hands. You can have your feet wide if you'd like. You can have them a little closer if you'd like. Lift your tailbone up. Lift your tailbone up. That's it. Pressing the hands into the chair. So we're engaging now the muscles in the shoulder and the chest. Right? So press the hands into the chair like you're trying to push the chair through the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent. And then come all the way up and slowly walk forward. Whew. Great. All right, I'm going to move my chair back around. So we're going to come back around to the front of the chair. Okay. And with your feet a little wider than, we're not quite done working on these legs, right? So we're going to bend the knees like you're going to sit down, but don't. And then slowly come up. Okay, so you might just reposition your feet so that they're in just the right position for you. You want to have them a little wider than your hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Coming all the way up. When you come up, really squeeze these muscles, get your knees nice and straight. Let's do this 2 more times, like you're going to sit, but don't. And then coming up. And last time, we're going to come down and hold and breathe. Now relax your neck and shoulders. Shift your weight into your heels. So you get a little more weight in your heels, that wakes up these quadriceps muscles a little bit more. Okay, so knowing where your chair is, let's see if we can slowly sit down without flopping. Great. Whew. All right, let's lean back and stretch those legs out a little bit. Just kind of lift and lower the legs a little bit here. How do your legs feel right now? Good. I feel like they got a good workout here this morning. Excellent. Okay, so that's what we're going for. Let's do this just for a little bit of a stretch. So take your right foot underneath your chair, way behind you if you can. Okay, should feel a little stretch somewhere in here. If you're not feeling that stretch, lean back a little bit into your chair and you'll get it. So for some of us, it's going to be up closer to the hip. For some of us, it's going to be down here around the knee. And for some of us, we're going to get it like right in the middle. So we're stretching out these muscles that we just asked to work really hard. And then come forward, we're going to switch, go to the other side. So take that left foot and then just kind of wiggle it or squish it back there a little bit. Sit up really tall and then lean back if you need a little bit more. Great. And then come forward. Excellent. Okay. So let's do this. Let's sit comfortably. You can sit into the back of your chair if you want. So that would be down the back of the hill, or you can stay up on the top of the hill. Let your hands rest on your lap. Close your eyes. And tune into your breath. And as you're watching your breath, so remember you're breathing in and out through your nose. The breath is smooth and steady. Just notice what you feel in your physical body. So we did quite a physical practice this morning, a lot with the legs, the thighs, the buttocks, the hips. So just notice what all of that feels like. And then allow your attention to shift into the activity in your mind. And specifically the thoughts as they wander in and out. And that's what thoughts generally do. They wander in and out of your awareness. So watch as thoughts rise and fall from your conscious awareness. Allow your breath to get slower and deeper. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the air as it moves in and out of your body.